Have you ever felt warm, safe, maybe even comfortable? It's probably, in some way, because of the sun. However, the sun is secretly a sadist and waiting for its time to strike. I know this because I've studied space weather. When the surface of the sun experiences complex and polarizing magnetic fields, an arc can form. It can either be composed of radiation and particles or gases and magnetism. Eventually, this arc reaches far enough away from the sun's surface that it just snaps, launching the particulate into the vastness of space in the form of a solar flare or a CME. Occasionally, that same arc might snap toward the Earth, which can have interesting or potentially dire consequences. On the arrival of a powerful solar flare, the Earth's magnetic field is compressed. This causes a lot of electricity to be generated, as if the Earth was one big generator. And this has pretty predictable effects. It can either cause, the aurora or interference on radio waves, or my personal favorite, geomagnetically induced current. GIC is the Earth's electricity that actually disrupts normal electronic operation. So not just like radios, because those are disrupted through the ionosphere being charged and, unable to reflect back those frequencies. But instead, like causing bit flips in computers and stuff. They can be affected by a number of things, and by they I mean geomagnetically induced current, such as soil or whether or not the given area is near a coast, or whether or not you're at high latitude or super low latitude. The equator doesn't really experience much because of a thicker geomagnetic field. But there hasn't really been many storms that have caused major electrical issues other than the Carrington Event in 1859, which it caused some pretty big effects. So, for example, telegraphs could be ran completely unplugged, and if they were plugged in, they would blow up. So then not great. Or if you went outside, even at the equator and everything, it could be nighttime and you would think it would be day, just because the aurora would be that bright. And that scared a lot of farmers down in the South who, they had never seen the aurora before. It is speculated that a geomagnetic storm of the Carrington Event's scale could damage our modern power grid because of transformers, a necessary component in stepping up AC current or stepping down, could be induced a lot of extra current and therefore output even more. So it would scale up the effects of the storm by like 4 to 8 times to like 20 times, depending on the factors that I listed. And that would obviously be very bad because we use that for all of our power distribution across the entire US. There have been some preparations in case that were to happen. So like quick deploy transformers that you can just distribute around the US within a 2 to 3 week time. But if a massive geomagnetic storm were to occur, it would be enough to mess up our grid for a while. So no electricity, nothing like that, which would be insane to see. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah.